Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Joel. I'm now a nurse graduate from Imperial Valley College and also working in the ER as a registered nurse. And for today's video, it's going to be my NCLEX study plan and strategies I used to pass. I know it's a little long, the title, but hey, hear me out. Now, I'm going to try and build like sections on the YouTube video, probably. That's my goal, so if I didn't do it, I'm so sorry. But let's get right to the video. Alright, so I have like 6 tips that these are crucial for your study plan, and these were the strategies I used to pass. So take it how you want. All right, so the first one is build your day using your planner or your agenda. Now, if you've seen my first study tips video of the NCLEX, it's probably like repetitive on that first one, but it's very crucial for you to have your agenda and to write everything down here. It's very important. You have no idea the power that the habits you'll be forming once you write the things down that you need to do. Once you visualize it, I don't know how it works in the brain, that it's more effective. You just think in your head what you have to do. Now for me also, try and get a good pen that you like writing with, I guess, because I did notice like whenever I use like whatever pens, I don't know, like it felt unpleasant to write sometimes, even though it was just a pen. So when I bought like a $9 pen and it wrote smoother, I was like, oh, I like writing with this pen. So I was looking forward to write it in my agenda in order to just feel the smoothness. I don't know, but you know, it worked for me. So try it. So the first one is really important: to build your agenda, see your plan, and accommodate it depending on your schedule for the day. The second one is listening to the Clement recordings, and this is very crucial. I'm gonna try and put it here in the description of Clement. I think there's like 12 audios, and I think that like it comes with kind of like the notes, his recording notes, I think. I think it would be a good idea for me to start from 12 and go down. You know, go from the latest to the earliest. Why? Because I did notice that whenever I went through 1 through 6, and then I went to 12, and then in the 12 it said like, oh, this is like a must for the NCLEX, so you're gonna get like at least 20 questions on this. And I was like, oh crap, like, you know, when he says stuff like that with that type of like authoritative tone and voice, you know, I was like paying more attention. And the thing with Clement, if you don't know about him, the few things that I know that I was told is that he was one of the writers in some point back in 2012, something like that, of the NCLEX overall. So he wrote questions there, and he knows the format of the questions. And I think the NCLEX, he said like the NCLEX changes every year, but only 5%. So, which is pretty much nothing. So he knows kind of like the ways they would ask you the questions, and it helps for a lot of people because some people are auditory, some people are like hands-on. So for the auditory listeners, since it's just like kind of like a podcast, you know, you just put on your headphones and just listen. You know, for some people it can help. For me, it helped. I wasn't able to increase the speed, so if I could have like increased the speed to like 1.5 or double speed, that would have been better, because there were like some things that he would be repetitive about. But overall, it was very nice because I have it in the Google Drive because a friend of mine like gave it to me. So I'm gonna try and put it here in the description so you guys can also use it. Because if you try just Googling it, like it's not gonna work. So yeah, like listen on your spare time, and by the spare time, I mean like on the restroom, on when you're taking like a shower, you have like a speaker or something, like just put it like close to your shower so you can actually listen to it. But yeah, and really try and listen to it. Like, don't just have it there. You know, you actually have to listen to it in order for you to get like something out of it. So it's very crucial for you to use it in your spare time, because you know, on our days we do have a lot of spare time. You might be playing video games and you can put it here on your speaker. You know, I have my speaker here, so whenever I play video games, I have it here and I'm just playing. I have this on mute, and then I'm listening to the Clement here. Or I have my AirPods Max or my AirPods Pro, and I'm walking around and I'm just listening to it while I'm going to the gym or whatever, you know, whatever spare time you want. So it's really important for you to find those times that you can just squeeze in like 5 or 10 minutes. And 5 or 10 minutes from Clement, it's really something, you know. It's not like just like one concept. He can talk about like 5 concepts in 5 or 10 minutes. And his articles are like 1 hour, 2 hours long, average. So yeah, you'll be surprised at how much of his recordings you can go through in your spare time. Now, another one will be doing practice questions in your spare time. So it's pretty much kind of like the Clement. So kind of like do like Clement questions in your spare time, in order for you to have like more diversity in there and have it like a little bit more active. It's really gonna help. You'll be surprised like how many questions you can do in the toilet. You know, like for me, I would easily do like 5 questions of UWorld. And I know like 2,100 questions on UWorld that you can use. But going over 5 questions every single time I was in the restroom, that was like easy, like 30 questions a day, easy. And sometimes like we're there and totally just looking at Instagram or Snapchat or something, like unproductive. So might as well do like the first questions, 5 or 10, and then do your Instagram or whatever it needs to be that you do. So being like more aware of your spare time and using it accordingly, especially when we have like 3 weeks for the NCLEX or 4 weeks, that's when you're gonna start seeing like, oh wow, like I'm actually getting a lot of stuff done, and this is my spare time, you know, not on the things I have written in my agenda. The fourth will be on the U World. Focus a lot on the questions are like prioritization, delegation, and best, like which is the best thing to do. And know your weaknesses regarding like what are your weak on. Like for me, like no cap, it was everything. Like I didn't feel confident on anything. I guess like the thing that I felt like the most confident in was med search overall, because I can kind of like find a way in a sense. But like peds, it's like I don't know. And then like mental health, it's like kind of like flipping a coin in some of them, because it's like I feel it could be these two. What else? Like farm, like it depends. OB, it's like nobody really knows OB. So yeah, like know your weaknesses, but at least for me, I felt like everything was my weakness in some point. So on the U World, try and do like a specific test. So I primarily went with the critical care ones because I think like there were less of them overall. So I did like 5, 15, like trying to minimize those. But I first started with doing like general questions on U World, like of everything. But then I noticed like, I don't want to do it like that. So I just went with like specific subjects like pharmacology, 25 questions or 20 questions. And I was adapting my brain into pharmacology. And then after those questions, then I would go cardiology, med surg, cardiology, and then go from there. You're gonna see like in the U World, like all of those options that you can play along with. But with the best, I did notice that sometimes in the med search questions, they'll be like, what would be like the best thing to do? Sometimes it doesn't really mean the first thing you do, because there's a difference between the first thing you do versus the best thing. So for instance, if you're gonna do chest compressions, what would be the best thing to do? Well, do the chest compressions, right? But if it would say what would be the first thing you would do, and you have the options like locate the pulse, or see if they have a pulse, put in like the what would be like another option that can be there, putting oxygen, putting, I don't know, like the CPR kind of like table or like logs that they use in the back of the beds. That would be the first thing you would do, like put it there, and then you would do chest compressions. So that would be like the first thing you would do. But the best thing would be just doing chest compressions, because at least when I found it in the U World, it's like in the best questions, it would be like, well, what is, like, if you can only do one thing, which one would you do? And with the first thing kind of question, it's like, out of these things, which is the thing that you're gonna do first? So if it's like the CPR one, will be like putting like the I don't know how to, I just forgot the term right now, but I remember I saw it in my U World, and I think in the exam was like something similar, but putting like the logs, I forgot the word right now. I don't know why. I'm like a brain fart right now, but you know what I mean. Probably gonna come back later, but like, you know, those were the things that I didn't notice in the U World, and then on the NCLEX that I was like, oh, like yeah. And then at least in the NCLEX, how I was told, and I think it was true, it's that once you start with multiple choice and you get it right, you're gonna know that you got it right, because right after that you're gonna get like a select all the apply. So you want to get the more select all the apply as possible, because that means you're doing good. So for me, it was like, it was multiple choice, select all the apply, multiple choice. So in the select all the apply, I was like, I don't think the fourth one is it, so I'm not gonna put it. So that when I didn't put it, I got a multiple choice, and I was like, damn it. So that's how I was like knowing if I was going up or down. And whenever you get a math question, that normally means that you're below and they're trying to help you. Because remember, like the test isn't, I like to call it like a live test, because it moves along or it modifies itself according to how you're performing. So it's not like an exam that is set in stone and it's not going to change. If you're doing well, it's going to give you harder questions, and by harder questions, it could be like select all the apply, or like a really, really strong multiple choice. But if you're doing bad, you're probably going to be getting like multiple choice that are really, really simple. Or if you're doing like really bad, you're going to get like a math. So that's how kind of how you can give yourself like a clue. That's what I was told, and in my NCLEX, like that's how I was seeing it. I didn't get 75 questions though. I got like 135. I almost got like all of them because I think the limit's 145. So you can believe like I was dying of anxiety in a sense, and I was doing like deep breathing exercises and everything I learned in fundamentals to calm down. And I always treated my every question like it could be my last. So I always try to have my mentality of finishing strong and doing my best, and like overall I just feel like I did do my best, you know. Because I remember like a charge nurse from the ER that I was working with, she would tell me like, oh, like after I passed the 75 questions and 85, I just gave up and I was just doing like, you know, like without really thinking too much because I was like, I'm already screwed. And she got all the questions, but she did pass. So she was like, so don't feel unencouraged whenever you pass the 75 or 85 margin, you know. So I always had the mentality like, no, I just finished strong, just finished strong. And I didn't take any breaks, and I did do, overall I think I did like 3 hours. No, I think I did like 2 hours and a half for all those questions, like 135. And then you get like 30 questions or 20 questions that they just want to practice with, but they tell you like your exam's over, but we want to use these questions and see like how you do, you know, for us to like use it later on and stuff. So technically those don't count, but I don't know if like they can help you or something. It says like they won't count, so I don't know. So that's regarding the U world. Now the fifth one will be like validate your emotions. So in the sense that if you feel like very unencouraged, if you have like a lot of self-doubt, if you have a lot of like imposter syndrome, just know that it's normal. Just know that everybody feels that, and if you want to cry, you know, because some people get like really anxious and like the stress is real, because it's a really important exam, and you do need to at least acknowledge that it's a really big exam and it's a really big deal in order for you to treat it seriously. If you didn't treat nursing school seriously or didn't study a lot, the NCLEX is like the thing that you really have to like, you know, sit down and like actually study and do stuff, because you can be doing very well in your nursing school, but the NCLEX is like a state exam that changes 5% every year, and you can do all your U worlds and all your Mark Clement, but if you don't understand the concept from all those things, you're not going to pass, you know, straight up. So really try and in the U world, try and understand the rationales. Whenever you get it right, but you know that it was like a luck that you got it right, see why it's the rationale of like why that one is the right choice and why the other one's not it. It's probably going to take you longer to finish all the U world, but why would you want to finish all the 1,200 question, yeah, like 1,200 questions, or no, it's like 2,100 questions. Why would you want to like finish them very early on when you didn't really learn a lot? It's like you're pretty much on square one again. So it's like really trying to understand them. And that's how I studied. I never, like if you see here, I have here like an NCLEX prep, I have another one here, and then I have like 2 here or 3 here. I didn't even open them because it's like a lot of people know that it's Mark Clement and it's U world, and that's it. You know, it's cool to have the options, I guess. You know, it's better to have options and discard them than having no options at all. But you know, if the thing that works is U world and Mark Clement, why would you want to change the formula? You know, you can always study more and feel more safe, or feel like you're doing more, and that's, you can have like a more sense of like calmness and less anxiety. And for some people it helps, but for me it was like, you know, it is what it is, you know, like there's so much I can do. So just validate your emotions and just try and do your best on everything that you're doing. So if you fail, you at least feel that I actually did what I had to do. You know, I didn't do less than what I normally perform. But yeah. Now regarding the last one will be make time for yourself. So in your agenda, you're writing down everything. It's not just going to be NCLEX prep. You know, it doesn't make sense, especially if you are a full-time worker or part-time worker now, because you're graduating nursing school, so you're technically a nurse intern. So definitely try and get like some days off. At least for me, I did get like the weekend off, but I didn't work technically on the weekend because I already did my 3 days. But I didn't work on Monday because I took my NCLEX on the Wednesday. So I had Monday free, but I had like PTO. So like they paid, I had like paid hours that I can use. And I didn't go Tuesday either, but that was in PTO. And then I did my exam on Wednesday, and then I worked Thursday and Friday. So definitely like try and have some days off. And if you can use your paid time off that you accumulated, that'll be better. That way you don't lose your income, you know, because you took like a week off or something. But yeah, like definitely make time for yourself. Like go with your family, go with your friends, club, make a party in your house or something, a get together or whatever, you know, definitely calm down and release that stress, because you are a human being too. This exam, it will determine your future, a big deal, but it's not the end of the world if you don't pass it, which is a good thing. You know, the NCLEX you can take as many times as you want, but you have to pay every single time, I know, but you know, at least it's not like a one-time exam that you can only do, and if you fail you have to take it in a year. You know, I think the wait time is like a month and a half or something. So just don't feel that it's the end of the world, and if you pass the 75 margin, don't think that it's the end of the world. Remember me, I did 135, and I say it with pride, you know, because I did 135 and I passed it. Okay, it's like, who cares? But yeah, like normally all my friends got like 75s or 85s, 95s. So I think I'm the only one that has gotten like that far, that at least has been like real about the questions they got, because I just want to make you feel that it's okay, you know, all those emotions. And whenever I was studying, I felt panicked, and I was thinking it's okay, you know, it's part of the journey, you know, pretty much. It would be weird if you just felt normal. And just having in your head like it's gonna be a good story to tell for future semesters, for like nursing students that are still there, that you have friends of, like you can just tell them like, oh yeah, I feel you, and I felt like that too, but you know, hey, all the cliche stuff that everybody tells us, right, like you're gonna do fine and just study and whatever. So yeah, like with me, I just try to make these videos, you know, to reach more people than the college that I graduated from. But yeah, like overall, make time, make your agenda, do the questions whenever you can, and breathe the day of. Just breathe. Then normally also one last thing, try and take it towards like 2 p.m. 12 if you want, but don't do it in the morning. Please don't do it in the morning. Like it will be way too much anxiety. You're gonna be all tired. That's worse. So for me, I took it like at 2 p.m. I think it was 2 p.m. Yeah. So, but you need to get there half an hour early, and you need to take like a valid form of an ID. It has to be like 3 months before it expires if you're gonna take something like that, I think. But take your driver license or your passport, but it has to be like up to date, because if it's up to date, it's not gonna count. So warning on that. And then also have a face mask, because it's required because COVID, but even though like nobody really cares about COVID anymore, they do just for that moment. And that's pretty much it. So yeah, let me know if you pass your NCLEX and how many questions you got, so you guys can like also write your little journey of like how you felt and everything, so other people can also read your story and they can also like feel a little bit better. Overall, like it doesn't really matter what I say in regards to your emotions. Just have in your mind that everybody feels these emotions. Everybody that went through nursing school, everybody that went through the NCLEX, all those emotions that you're having are not new. Everybody has had them. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So you guys stood here at the end of this video. Thank you so much guys for watching. And also, before I end this video, you guys haven't followed me on Instagram, please do so you guys can message me there about your journey, about any other tips. I did get like quite a few messages now regarding like, oh, I'm gonna be taking my NCLEX in 2 weeks, like any tips. So I already did like a tips video, but they want like other tips, so that's why I wanted to do this other video regarding strategies. And yeah, so yeah, you guys took into the video. Thank you so much guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.